Make a 6th movie after this one.
I know. I'm like, oh shit! If Anthony Hopkins is wearing and he got to narrate this shit, oh my god, but.
Yeah, he's worried. He gets blown the fuck up.
Yeah, he got flipped in the air. He was still narrating. I'm flying upside down now. Oh, I believe I'm doomed. Well, let's get into what you came here for. To hear us talk shit about the worst of the worst movies of 2017. And I told you, the way we're going to do this is I'm going to start out with my list, and then I'm going to slide that on over to Goodwin after I'm done. And that way we can kind of compare what movies we really, 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 really dislike this year. And I'm sure that we share some like we did with our best of.
Yep.
And then we have some that are unique to ourselves.
Okay.
And let me see here.
I'm mostly looking forward to Goodwin's list because...
Well, fuck you, Negro. Shit.
So hurry up with yours.
Yeah. Man, get your shit over with.
Only because I know he's seen the worst of the worst movies this year.
Yeah, they make a hobby of it every weekend.
I know. As I went through the list, I was like, dang, a lot of these movies that I know are bad that I just happen to miss.
Yeah.
But he seems to catch them all. Pokemon.
You still got to preface that shit with something. Yeah, your list is all right, but I'm really looking forward to his.
Thank you,
hurry
Martin.
the fuck up.
Thank you. Complimenting somebody else is not an insult to you.
It is. You know me. I'm talking about my list and you paying attention to him. Yeah. Fuck you too. I had to go through and just think hard about what is it about these movies? What is the one or two things that stood out that made these movies jump in line in front of the others to be the worst of? So I'm going to try to hit on those very significant things while also elaborating on some of the things that we talked about during our reviews when we were discussing them. And let's start out with number 10 and work our way to number 1. My number 10 worst movie of the year is...
He been drinking that bayou.
What is booze?
Bitch juice.
Hey man, sick costume.
And that look was on everybody's faces when we went to go see this movie right here. Oh my God. Not Tyler Perry again. The thing is, we say not Tyler Perry again, but every time we say that, then we go in there and even with his worst movies, even when we come out and say that the movie is some old bullshit, we always feel this need to defend Mr. TP.
Yeah, that's true.
We always say that, you know what? Oh, but he tried. He a businessman. He ain't a filmmaker.
He making his money.
He making his money. We gotta support this brother right here.
Head on the game.
No, fuck that. Not anymore. This is so bad and much worse. There's no charm left in this. With this one, he didn't even try.
No.
Look, I know it's just Medea, but I know this is just like a Medea Halloween, but you can expand that story a little bit, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. This just felt like somebody shot this in the woods and like on his compound or his studio, and then it's all right, we can do this in a weekend. Let's go.
It's just lazy the way that he rehashes his own movie. It's almost, it's just a couple of things that they might have used different, but that didn't really cost that much. And worst of all, this is a script, if you want to call it that. If it does exist, it was written probably in a day, and it just has a lame 90s ABC Family Halloween special feel to it that's barely extended to an hour. And I don't even think it made it completed to an hour and a half. I think it made it, like an hour and 28 minutes or something?
Yeah, it was like, whatever.
Yeah. Some of the characters that you love, I love Joe in the movie. Joe had the same old joke every now and then. You's a bitch.
I'm a pimp.
And I'm a pimp. You's a bitch and I's a pimp. Wow, man. His characters who were probably the saving grace of his movies are now finally, including Medea, because they don't have any fresh material, are starting to wear on me. They start to grate on me. When you watch a Tyler Perry movie and you miss going to church, that's bad. That is bad.
That means he's doing his job.
Yeah. Maybe that was what he wanted to do.
Got him.
Yeah. Let's get into my number 9 movie.
There once was a girl. No one dares.
Get your ass on over.
What did that girl do to deserve it?
She know what she did.
She was in Rings.
Yeah, that little girl from the range. She like, you know what? I'm done making sequels. Oh, the fuck you is. And I am talking about number 9, Rings. Number 9 is Rings. And here's the deal with this movie here. This is a sequel. Of all the sequels that we have seen in 2017, this feels the most forced. This is the one that it even tried to do what I say a sequel should do, or in some cases a prequel, expand on the story. They did that here and they fucked everything up. This sequel right here tries to do something I thought would be clever. It's taking, the little girl's always crawling out the TV. 7 days, if you ain't gone, I'm crawling out your TV. And they took it to the level where she was on the internet, crawling out your laptop now.
Right.
Crawling out your phone probably. I don't know how that works, Little girl comes out your phone, like pokes your eyes.
It was so weird, man. 'Cause it opened with her crawling out of the headrest of some the airplane seats because she was in the TVs.
Oh
there.
yeah, she pulled some terrorist shit. She took down a whole plane. She came out of everybody's TV right there. That one person who didn't get that service right there, my TV don't work. Good for you. You lived until the shit crashed. But this right here, when they did that, for some reason, it just fucked everything up. That one clever little spin right there ruined all the mythology of this because this is so forced. And the reason why it is so forced is because instead of trying to go in and actually do what worked with the first one, the first one was so creepy because they played with this urban myth that some people, could find. I mean, as ridiculous as it is, it really did scare people because they blended that with technology that made it plausible today.
Right.
This right here, while it had that expansion there of the internet, it decided to go in kind of like they did with the Tyler Perry movie, rehash a lot of things here. And what they did was rehash that same art film that you see. Sure. They have the girl there with the hair. This played on people's nostalgia of visual cues more than concentrating on the story. Because that story was boring. It was confusing. It was muddled. And as I said, it just didn't work with the scares. At this point, no one was frightened by this. And not to say that the opportunity wasn't there. It could have worked. But no one is frightened of this. Let's go ahead and get into number 8. Number 8, the honor goes to...
Welcome to a new world of gods and monsters.
He said it! Yeah, until we cancel that shit.
Cancel.
Yeah. And that is why. Because with this is the most significant movie of 2017 for being the most miscalculated film that year. And when I say miscalculated, I mean this is a movie that killed a franchise before it even got started. I don't understand how they tried to rush this out when they had the biggest plan of starting a universe. Yeah. Pretty much playing God. We're going to create a universe. And yet you present this bullshit right here. They were trying to decide, is this an adventure? Is this a comedy?
Is it a horror?
Oh, but that's the thing. It had no horror.
Right.
It had comedy.
Is it a superhero film?
Yeah, it had comedy. It had adventure. It's fun that you're starting a horror franchise with all that, but no horror. Not only did it kill a franchise, but it killed people's expectations for even doing universes anymore. There are people pulling back because of this, of the dark universe and its failure, where they're saying, you know what, I think DC has even looked at this in their own failures, but even looking at this and saying, you know something, we're going to make our movies probably stand just a little bit alone instead of forcing these things from now on.
As they should.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Number 7.
You don't have enough money.
It says right here we have $401,000.
Jackpot.
You missed it.
That says you have a 401k account.
Shut your goddamn ass up. You know, that's the thing with this, man. That is probably one of the best jokes in the movie. And the reason why is because it was written.
Yeah.
That was something that was probably scripted. And that's a lame ass joke.
How could they not know that's what that meant?
Martin, that's one of those movies where they didn't know because they're letting the actors ad-lib, which means that sometimes they're very smart and sometimes they're just straight up retarded. And and that's the thing with this movie right here. I'm talking about The House at number 7 for worst movie of the year. And the reason why is because this is significant for the reason that I just watched this screen and felt sorry for everybody involved. They don't have any direction. This is the movie where I looked at everybody on screen and said, wow, this is hard to watch. This is like watching a comedian on stage bomb. The reason why this didn't work is because the reason why I feel bad for these people is because that's exactly what happened. These people it's like watching these people do improvisational comedy with no basis to work with, just yelling and making funny faces when they don't know what else to do. And it's simply because no one on the side, mainly the director, just wanted to yell, cut. They felt like they had all these great comedians and all these great sketch comedy people, and they were so pleased with themselves for getting that they thought that would just carry the movie. Meanwhile, they got a good concept right there, which is their daughter needs to go to college, so they turn their house into a casino. If it doesn't sound like a good concept, we've seen versions, or at least one version that I've seen work of this before. Watch a movie called Night Shift. I'm not going to go too much into it, but not too far off from this. So it's something that could work. However, they let this movie was hijacked by the comedians. And if they had a better script and had a better director, I think they could have had something. I hardly even saw this movie, to be honest with you, because I just had my head down shaking it the whole time. I couldn't even bear to watch some parts because I just felt so bad for these people up there because they were just floundering with nothing to save them.
When we were watching this and it got to the credits and started showing outtakes, you went, hell no, no.
I was about to ruin my own TV. I was about to throw something at that shit. Cut it out. Let's go ahead and get into number 6. Making good time on this. My number 6 worst movie of 2017.
What's up? I'm John. Pontrello. Awesome, man. We're partners. Pretty badass. Being suited up for battle.
Looking like UPS drivers? Yeah, that's super cool.
The main reason that I chose this at number 6, and one of the main reasons that it made my list, what is significant about this? This is bullshit that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
When I say came out of nowhere, whoever said this, how fucking dare you? I said, wasn't nobody asking for a Chips movie? And somebody said, I hate it when you say that somebody was asking for a Chips movie. That means you.
I beg you. I dare you to find that person.
I dare. Well, I think that person was them. They said somebody looking for it. Somebody needed you.
I was around when Chips was on the air, and I had no interest in it when I was a kid, let alone now.
Yeah, there did not need to be a Chips movie other than to rake in the success of 21 Jump Street. Because as Martin was saying, look, man, I was around the days of Chips. Chips is a movie about
a show.
Motorcycle cops, pretty much highway patrol guys who they go out and fight crime. They supposed to be getting out tickets, but somehow they always find a mysteries or some shit to hang out and solve.
Yeah.
They were just like any other cop show, which is the problem with this, in that this is supposed to be a parody of a TV show. There ain't shit to parody on Chips. There is nothing to make fun of on the show Chips. It is about as basic a crime-stopping show as you can find. When you saw Dax Shepard and Michael Pena, I have not seen anybody look at this trailer and saw Michael Pena and Dax Shepard and then say, when is this coming out on Netflix? Nobody thought that this was going to the theater at all.
Right.
It's Dax Shepard, Michael Pena in a lead role on a TV show that millennials don't even know exists today. Wow. Way to go, Hollywood. They tried to emulate the formula of 21 Jump Street by taking something that was pseudo-family friendly and on TV and turning it nasty. But when you have nothing to balance that nastiness against, and that's all you have, it's just nasty and childish.
Real talk, she ate my butt. She ate your ass? Everyone's eating everyone's ass now. What about hygiene? If you go to the bathroom and you see some baby wipes, green lights.
In the movie, you looking at this like, why y'all talking about eating ass?
Ain't y'all getting shot?
It's not that I haven't eaten the ass or two, but this just came out of nowhere.
But you don't discuss it right before you're about to bust in on the villains.
Yeah. I look.
You don't?
I just want to say, ass eaters of the world, I have nothing against the act. I have nothing against you. But this right here, this was this came out of nowhere and felt awkward because it was just there because they thought if we're shocking or do something that's kind of racy, we're funny. No, that's not funny. It's just nasty and kind of confusing. Something similar for my number 4 movie, and I have it labeled as number 5, but it's actually number 4.
You turned the canals into the goddamn X Games.
Yeah, that's because we were in lifeguard pursuit.
There's no fucking such thing as lifeguard pursuit. Even if you were police, what you did would still be totally illegal.
You know, that is probably the funniest scene in the movie.
Yeah.
And not for any of the A-list, B-list, even D-list actors, but for that dude right there.
That's all we know him as, that guy.
The black dude, the black dude in Baywatch.
Yeah.
The black police chief, which normally in any other movie is not that funny.
Right.
Ice Cube made it funny, and so did this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my problem with this film. The significance of this movie being my number 4. I'm still looking at number 5 right. Number 4, excuse me for the typo. Number 4 worst movie of 2017 is that, unlike Chips, it had plenty of stuff to parody. Mm-hmm. Baywatch is known for having so many just visual icons to make fun of, for having so many ridiculous situations to make fun of. And this movie passed it all up. Totally messed it up. The biggest jokes in the movie, and the most lame of them, is that we got these stars cursing a lot. That is it. And it's sad because there's creative potential in this film, but it fucked up every opportunity, creative potential that it had. David Hasselhoff of Baywatch fame, that has got to be the worst cameo potential that I've seen for a movie, hands down. There's so much you could have done with him surfing. Mm-hmm. There was so much you could have done with him eating a hamburger.
Oh, you know he wasn't going to do that.
I think he would have done
it. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but somebody was buying a phone at the Sprint store and just happened to run into David Hasselhoff. There was no joke about him buying a phone. No. There's no joke about him going to surf or something. He's just there. Oh, hey, David Hasselhoff. You know,
why you gotta spoil Baywatch?
Please. You have people like The Rock. You have people like, I know he's still trying, but Zac Efron. He's still Zac Efron. You have these people who could have done something. They were made for this. They got beach bodies. They are funny. They both proven themselves to be funny. Sure. They both proved themselves to be talented people. But that's all they were there for a visual gag. When they opened their mouth, they just said something crazy or they cursed. And also the other visual gag, just had these girls run around in the one-piece suits that you saw from Baywatch. Don't do anything clever with the idea. Just have them run around like they did in the original. Nothing to parody right there. But the biggest thing with this movie, if it deserves to be the worst movie, number 4 worst movie on my list for 2017, it broke The Rock. The Rock is a confident man. The Rock is self-assured. The Rock, if he messes up on something, he moves to the next one. Mm-hmm. This movie broke him down. This movie had him get on Twitter and ask people, why y'all being so mean?
These critics don't understand the fans.
Y'all don't understand. You don't like to laugh. You don't like fun. You know, this movie broke The Rock. Let's go ahead and get into, well, maybe I was wrong. You know, maybe that was number 4. I mean, maybe that was number 5. I'm just going to go ahead and get into it then. Number 4 then. Number 4 movie that I consider to be the worst film of 2017 at number 4.
I want you back. I had no idea what this was going to become.
You're just going to stand there gawking?
Yes.
He's like, that's all I do.
I don't need to work anymore.
Yeah. That's what I do. I just stand in a room and just stare at people, even if I know you. You know, I got a door. No, I like climbing through the window, standing in the dark all night. You know, this is 50 Shades Darker. And the reason why I see this significant at number 4 here, and again, I'm sorry for getting the numbers mixed up, at number 4 is because this is something that I really could enjoy for being a bad movie. You know, we talked about those Avengers villains that they formed in here. This Legion of Doom they got going on.
Legion of Doom.
Yeah, there are things that they did that were worse than the first one that actually made it funnier. That actually made it more entertaining. I mean, it crossed that line of being just something to go out there and just turn on, 45-year-old women who ain't getting none, to actually being so bad that it's good. But the thing with this movie is that I can't let it slide, because the more that they actually try to do, no matter how much fun it might be, it just shows that they really ain't shit there.
It does.
I mean, it is continuing to be a movie that is trying so hard to feed off the group that for the most shallow reasons are enjoying this series, but there is nothing there. It is one of the most shallow films that I've ever seen. It is true fan fiction. But the biggest thing about it that really pisses me off is that this movie in this age, it shows a little bit of hypocrisy on a lot of women out there. Not all of them. There are women out there who they are about the cause and they're sticking true to it. But there are a lot of women out there talking about how empowered they are and how, this is the new age of the woman. And the thing that they look at this and they say, what I really like about this is that they take this lead character here. What's her name here? Anastasia?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Anastasia, which I need watching this, Anastasia, I really like Anastasia because you know what? She is sexually empowered and liberated while she is turned into a sex slave. This is offensive.
And a gold digger.
And let's not mix words here. And a gold digger. This is offensive to women. This tells you that you're not only are you shallow, but for money, you want to be literally put up in chains and be a slave to somebody. I don't get this series, man, with people in this day and age. They add shit because they know it's so boring. They're like, fuck it, ain't nothing happening. Make that plane crash.
Yeah. It's going to be a helicopter crash. It crashed, you all right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we all right.
Almost died back there.
Never even showed it.
No.
I was so mad. It's the one thing I was looking forward to in this piece of shit.
They show a helicopter go down and then they cut back to what's his name? Christian Grey coming at the door. I'm all right.
Well, they're still reporting on the news that he's missing.
Yeah, right.
He's missing.
Oh, shit, is that me?
What you watching?
No one noticed Bill Gates walking the street after he's been reported missing.
Oh, well, let's fuck. Yeah, people, I don't get it. Yeah, all right, let's go ahead and get into the number 3 movie as my worst movie of 2017.
Optimus Prime.
They try to get people too, man. You know what pisses me off about
it works every year though, man, because it's always somebody, man, this is the Dark Transformers. They really gonna show it this time. And then you get in there.
I know.
Goddamn.
You know who said that? This guy.
That guy right there.
Yeah, hey, you know what? and I own that because I'll do it again. I'm fair with a trailer. I'm fair with things. They put a trailer out there. I'm not gonna say it reflects the movie, but when you deliver something in a trailer, and I'm always thinking like, hey, maybe this will be the one. I mean, you think, and the reason why I say this is because you think that they would learn. This is Transformers: The Last Night. This is number 5 in the series right here. I would figure that y'all would do something with this, but you put this dark ass trailer out there. Got that girl crying while she's singing. Anthony Hopkins, he made some shit sound serious. Optimus Prime is dead now. Oh, what will we do? I'm like, oh yes, what will we do? Oh God!
Make a 6th movie after this one.
I know. I'm like, oh shit! If Anthony Hopkins is worried and he got to narrate this shit, oh my God! But.
Yeah, he's worried. He gets blown the fuck up.
Yeah, he got flipped in the air. He was still narrating. I'm flying upside down now. Oh, I believe I'm doomed.
It's a pitch and ride.
Yeah. This is significant at being number 3 because you literally see them run out of ideas as the movie goes along. You are watching this. You are watching them actually make up shit as they go along. Millions of dollars used to watch people make up things as they go along. It's like a $150 million bad improv show with robots in it. Mm-hmm. To the point where they have nothing. And it's also significant because I consider this to be the biggest fuck you of 2017 because it's not an accident that they don't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They just don't want to.
Yeah.
You know, why make the effort when they know that your dumb ass is going, and when I say dumb, I'm talking about all of us. Your dumb ass, my dumb, everybody's going to go out and see this shit because it's pressured on us to see it. It's a blockbuster, must-see tentpole movie of the summer. You know, yeah, it's not that they didn't know that they didn't have a story. They just didn't care. And I will give them one credit for something, that this is the most insane Transformers that's out there. The levels, the depths of ridiculousness that they go to. It's almost one of the most insane movies, period, that I saw of 2017. And that pisses me off even more because it goes so crazy that they show the robots, and we talked about this in our review, their place in history, where they went out there and fought the Civil War. I'm sure they helped Einstein
defeat the Nazis.
They defeated the Nazis. Oh, but that ain't all. They were hanging in Japan, helping out with feudal samurais.
But every legend has a secret.
But Frederick Douglass? You mean the Autobots fought for black rights? I think somewhere we even said it was a picture of Harriet Tubman. They fought for slavery.
Yeah.
They
The
fought
Underground Railroad.
The Underground Railroad. They fought for slavery.
Yeah, no, Nate Turner was an Autobot.
Yeah, you know,
The bus that Rosa Parks was on was an Autobot.
was an Autobot. Yeah. Rosa's like, you gonna do something, man? I can't do anything right now. I'm undercover. They ain't gonna put them hoses and dogs on me.
But just sit right here. And don't move.
I'm there with you in spirit, Rosa. Keep up the good fight.
Not as useful as Optimus is in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, you put Frederick Douglass in there. You don't show that picture and just keep on walking back the fuck up. No.
You're just trying to brush over like, don't worry about that. It's like, wait a minute. No.
Civil War, the Nazis, World War II, slavery. It's like, but no, back the fuck up. Wait a minute. No, that is something you just don't walk past. That's a whole movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
They're running out of ideas. They have to do it eventually.
All right, let's go to number 2. My number 2 movie as the worst movie of 2017.
We thought we could just roll and tumble.
Don't you want to make some money? You've got talent.
Shot right here in our lovely hometown of Austin, Texas.
Makes you want to move.
No, makes me want to beat his ass next time he comes to town. Terrence Malick's Song to Song is my number 2 worst movie. And this has the honor of being that one movie. You get that one movie every year that gets the award for being the most self-indulgent, pretentious bullshit. And when you do, usually it's done by Terrence Malick. And that is this film right here. You know, the significance of it, besides what I've just mentioned here, is that it's almost interesting. I'm almost grateful for the film for showing us a glimpse of something that we don't see all the time, which is that side of A-list Hollywood actors that can't act. you know, this is Terrence Malick for his movies. Here's the problem. The man has been bestowed critical praise by for being a critical darling. Mm-hmm. You know, he can just go out there and shoot absolutely nothing, and critics will love it because for some reason they're convinced that it's art. They've enabled this man to do that so much that it's made him retarded. This guy can go out there and just shoot anything, and he's at the point now where he shoots nothing, absolutely nothing. And when I say nothing, there is no script. There is nothing there to guide these people. He's just cutting on the camera and saying, "Do your craft."
So it's the house with Oscar winners.
Yeah.
No, because those are actual improv comedians who have studied and know how to do this somewhat. These are just actors. And this is where you go, right, that's the difference between comedians and actors, because actors, no matter how good they are, they need a script.
Yeah, that is, man, you watch these people here in this movie, and we're talking about people like Ryan Gosling. We're talking about Michael Fassbender. Who's the
Natalie
girl?
Portman.
Natalie Portman. Who's the other girl?
Rooney Mara.
And these are people who are very well respected in the acting communities and in the industry. And this right here, when these people don't have a script, they don't have guidance, they don't have directorial cues, They are horrible. They are horrible, horrible. And I'm not saying that all the time. Some people really can't improv, but when you absolutely give people nothing, and I'm not blaming these people. That could be anybody.
Sure.
That could be anybody.
Sure, yeah. If you showed up and you said, okay, where's the script? I need to learn my lines. They say like, oh, just play it by ear. Here's the scene. Just go with what you feel like.
Yeah. This is like watching.
Okay.
Yeah. Watching this movie is like watching everything that you see in a bad acting class. The disingenuous, overdramatic acting where people just start yelling or babbling when they think they have something deep to say. That's what you see here. Except your students are Ryan Gosling and Michael Fassbender. What y'all doing here? I don't see the deepness that people are talking about. I don't see the nuances. What I see is a guy with a fucking camera running around with people who have nothing to say, who just act a fool in front of the camera. When for the rest of us, that's called vlogging. You know that is you know that is not a movie. That is a home movie right there.
Let me put this together. Does your number 2 and your number 1 movie have a certain person in common?
A certain person
okay.
in my list has the honor of not only being in there twice, but also being back to back.
Yeah.
My number 1 worst movie of 2017 featuring the common thread of probably the worst actor who was a great actor.
Yeah.
But it's bad in both movies that I'm about to talk about. That honor goes to Michael Fassbender in
I think it's the falling snow that sets the killer off.
Then who does he leave the snowman for? Building snowman.
You know, the snow, yeah. Oh, you're doing it wrong. Like, the snowman.
Ass snowman.
Oh, man. I had to decide if I wanted to actually put this movie on my list or if I want to let it slide. I want to let it slide because it's hilarious, and I say this honestly, I say this phrase a lot, but I'm being serious here. I've said this about certain movies tonight that these movies I have not seen them before in this form. I have not seen anything like this movie right here.
Yeah, dude.
I have not seen a cinematic fuck up like I have seen here before. It is the sloppiest, most incomplete feature film that I have ever seen. I have never seen a movie held together by duct tape before, which is this film. And when I say that, because you can see it just breaking at the seams. Everything that's in this movie that is wrong, it is glaringly wrong. I put this movie at number 1 also because I consider myself a sane person, a reasonable person. It's shit like this movie right here that will make you believe in conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. That'll make you think, no, it didn't happen like this. This was not made the normal way. This is a movie that was, something went wrong with people on the set. They want to sabotage this film. Mm-hmm. They did not want this to succeed from the beginning. I don't know why, but at early on in this movie, something went wrong and everyone said, fuck it.
It was somebody that saw Song of the South. Like, fuck you, Michael Fassbender. We're doing this shit for you.
Yeah. Are you talking about Song of the Song?
Yeah, Song of the Song. Yeah.
I don't remember Michael Fassbender's Song of the South.
I know.
Was he the little boy?
12 Years a Slave.
Yeah. You can't tell me that somebody on the set sat back and listened to this character say these words here.
Harry Hole.
Even he's like, did I just say Harry Hole?
Detective.
That's
Harry
my
Hole.
name, Harry Hole.
Mm-hmm. It's based on a series of books.
And that's his name?
But Mark, you changed that shit.
It could be Harold Hole.
No. And they say it pronounced a different way, like Harry Hallhay in his native language. You mean to tell me that this man said Harry Hole and somebody said this character's name is what? Somebody, like half the set and then go,
It's like he's trying not to laugh in that shot right there.
He's like, wait a minute, what? My name. Not one person came up and said, are we filming a porn? Because my agent told me we're doing something different.
Get Michael Fassbender to do a porn.
Is Michael Fassbender, did his career just hit a dead wall that bad? There's a part in the movie where they killed the character. And then somebody said, actually, you know what? We're not supposed to have that character, so you got to use somebody else. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
Yeah. And then somebody said, you cannot refer to that character anymore. Fuck, we still got this actress on contract. Make her a twin.
Yep.
you can You can actually, and they even come in and say, like somebody who has to reintroduce themselves, oh, I'm the twin sister. What happened here?
Yeah, it's like, you didn't want to mention that? And you don't seem all that upset about your twin being dead.
Yeah. Your boy Val Kilmer is in the movie. You don't even know why he's in the, what his part has to do with the movie. And it's baffling because they're doing voiceover for him because something was wrong with his throat.
Yeah.
He had throat cancer or something.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, and they had to they go in and redub his lines, and it sounds nothing like him. It's to the point where it actually creeps you out. The editing here is
It's
down.
like a 70s karate movie.
Yeah, except slowed down. He's going around doing his own narration, talking to himself, and nobody even knows what the fuck he's in this movie for.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks like Jimmy Stewart in the movie. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Imagine Val Kilmer doing a terrible Jimmy Stewart impression that somebody dubbed over for him. Imagine Val Kilmer walking around chewing peanut butter and somebody did voice over him as Jimmy Stewart where his mouth don't even match.
He's a key character, but it's easy to miss what his relationship is in there.
This is where you have actors in here. J.K. Simmons with a British accent.
Mm-hmm.
Which is horrible. Which is horrible.
With like the worst pickup maneuver I have ever seen in a movie. Where he's trying to pick up some chick.
Oh, yeah.
The whole audience cracked up.
J.K. Simmons, you don't sit your ass down. You leave that girl alone.
Hey, get back to the gym.
Out of all that, the movie is called The Snowman, and that is probably the funniest thing in the movie because the villain is trying to intimidate people with little snowman. Not big old crazy ass looking snowman. That snowman with like fangs and claws and everything. No, snowman who are not only small, but just sad. Just sorry. Not even cute.
Hug me.
Yeah, this is just you're gonna put the little sad ass snowman, the people who are looking at the snowman being like, oh, I'm gonna go give him a hug. And when you go out there, you come like, I got you.
He jumps out the snowman.
Yeah. And meanwhile, like, I'm sorry. He made me do it. Usually snowman come in three parts. He ain't even got no middle.
No. You don't even actually have the cold there. You just smeared it into the eye holes in the mouth.
He can't even breathe. Give me back my middle part, please. Kill me. Get a hairdryer and kill me. Please. Oh, people, there you go. Those are my top 10 movies of 2017.